Hello, my name is Ben.
And my name is Josh.
And welcome back to FPL Graduates.
So in today's video, it's going to be slightly different FPL Friday. We're going to get into a wildcard draft and a bunch of other things.
Yeah, well, we'll try and keep a few things from the normal FPL Fridays in there just for all you lot. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Right, so as you can see, we're going straight into the Guest Captain League. We're getting straight into it, and Connor last week, game week 4, he picked Calvert-Lewin. He scored a goal, but yet again didn't pick up the bonus points, so he only got 12 points that week, which puts him level second place with Johnny Vick. It's still Lewington ahead with that Aubameyang 14-pointer ahead. Hey, it's a good call from Connor to get Calvert-Lewin in, but I know he was debating between Calvert-Lewin and Harry Kane. So if he'd picked Harry Kane, man, he'd be high at the top right there. So, hey, it's a tough league, and yeah, joint second place. Well done, Connor. Let's see what our next guest gets in the next week after the international break.
So moving on to the next segment, the main segment of this video, we're going to be talking about a wildcard draft. Obviously Ben's hit his wildcard, as you've probably seen by now. So we're going to talk about a few options that if you have done a wildcard or if you haven't played it yet, a few players that you probably need to bring in sooner rather than later.
Definitely, and I'd say there's quite a lot of players that you need to get in quickly before their price rises if they haven't already risen already, because obviously we're into the international break now. Obviously the key ones to go for, the main highlights, let's say, are the Everton assets, specifically Dominic Calvert-Lewin and James Rodriguez. Both of them, to be honest, look like must-haves. Rodriguez looks like the most creative midfielder in the league at the moment. He's got, 5 goal contributions in 4 games. That's something you can't ignore. That is stats of a £10 million plus player. Calvert-Lewin also top scorer in the league at that price point with a high ownership at nearly 50%. Those two are the big ones that you can't ignore now.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin's at that stage with his ownership that if you don't own him and he does return, your rank's going to drop dramatically unless you have someone else returning instead of him. So yeah, Calvert-Lewin's a must-have. I've already brought him in. I haven't got a wild card this week, but I've took Werner out. I've brought DCL in. I should have done it a long time ago, but hey ho, we're here now. I'm going to touch on defence quickly. So obviously a lot of defences aren't keeping clean sheets right now, so it's interesting to see. Obviously there's only been like 3 game weeks for some teams and 4 for every team at least. So my main picks personally, you got Castagna at Leicester. He's the more expensive option, but he's probably the better option. I can see him picking up a few goals and assists, definitely much more than James Justin as that cheaper option. Lucas Digne, Everton only kept 1 clean sheet so far this season, but he does get attacking returns. He shares set pieces with James, so if you're looking for a defensive option from Everton, he'd be mine. Ben Chilwell, come back and made his debut, got a double-digit haul, great return. And then my outsider pick, Aston Villa looking decent defensively at the minute. Matt Targett instead of Emi Martinez, as I have that McCarthy-Ryan double up. I think that's going to be better long-term. And Matt Targett's just to get those Aston Villa clean sheet points. Yeah,
those are some great defensive assets from Leicester. I'm just going to touch on the Castagna point that you made. The points per million for both defenders makes them great options, both of them. The touches that they get inside the box compared to Jamie Vardy is ridiculous. They get more touches inside the opposition box. In terms of other players, maybe I'd go for a wild card. Tariq Lamptey would be one I'd be looking at. He is Brighton's arguably most attacking asset. He is a dangerous player going forward, absolute speed demon. He gets forward. And one outsider I'd probably go for, who a lot of people probably overlooked and got out of their teams, is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Obviously we've seen Liverpool aren't as great defensively this season, but Trent still was trying to fly forwards against Aston Villa, and Klopp obviously trusting him to get forward as much as he can and hope that and get the CDM to cover him in that sort of position. So we could see in the future people who are selling Trent could regret that decision.
Yeah, you'll definitely see the clean sheets come back when Jordan Henderson comes back into that Liverpool team. He's instrumental for that success of Liverpool. He may not do a lot in terms of his footballing ability, but the mental side of the game, he tidies up after Alexander-Arnold. So when he's come back, you'll see Liverpool's performances pick straight back up.
Right, let's move to midfield, and obviously we've touched on James Rodriguez and how important he's going to be in FPL in the coming weeks. I'm going to go with an outsider to begin with, a penalty taker from Chelsea, Jorginho. As we've seen, Pulisic is coming back from injury, so Chelsea have a plethora of wingers to pick from. You've got Hakim Ziyech, you've got Hudson-Odoi, you've got so many options in that winger spot, and they all love going down and getting penalties. So Jorginho is their main penalty taker, hasn't left this window currently. I know domestically he could still leave, but I doubt it will happen. And he's the one on penalties. He doesn't miss them. He scores them 13 points last game week, one of the top point scorers for all midfielders, which is crazy to say. But given the amount of penalties, I think that's a great option. Another one we should definitely be looking at is Tottenham's Heung-min Son. He is unbelievable. He's had 2 double-digit returns in 4 game weeks. He's nearly broken records for FPL already. So for me, given Tottenham's really nice run of fixtures, that's a crucial one to have. And maybe also, if you don't have him already, Mohamed Salah wants to get in. He gets returns. 3 out of the 4 game weeks he's returned already. That's a good bet for potentially a captain pick.
Yeah, speaking of record breakers, I've gone for an outsider, I guess you could say outsider. Jack Grealish nearly broke the record for the most amount of FPL points scored in a game against Liverpool. He looks fantastic, especially even for England against Wales. He looks very, very good. I think if he can continue the form, and Aston Villa can continue the form that they've shown in the first 3 games, he's a must-have. But there is that tricky stopping block where Aston Villa have played 3 teams who have looked not great whatsoever. So that's probably why I haven't played my wildcard yet. There's not enough information for me personally to go, I want you, Jack Grealish.
Yeah, let's move on to the striking options. Obviously, there is that, wow, it's massive how much the ownership Calvert-Lewin has gone up. Just under 50%, so obviously he's got to go in. He's got to go in now for me. And I'm going to go for another penalty taker, a similar theme in my team, Neil Maupay of Brighton. He looks quite good, and he's gone under the radar massively. He's only got 2 less points than Dominic Calvert-Lewin this season, and not a lot of people have picked him up. He's still under 10% owned for 6.5 million. He's a lot cheaper than Calvert-Lewin. That could be one as a differential to hurt all those Calvert-Lewin owners.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like a good pick. My 6.5 roughly million striker, I'm going to go for Callum Wilson from Newcastle. He started the season strong. He got a goal and assist, I do believe, in his last appearance. So he's looking quite good. Newcastle look decent, to be fair. Their team looks quite improved, similar to Aston Villa in a way. So yeah, so go and get Callum Wilson. He's dropped down in price, I do believe. He's still at 6.4 million, so even better.
Yeah, I'm going to touch up on a 4.5 million option up top, potentially a wildcard enabler, potentially someone you could get in, and that is Sheffield United's Ryan Brewster. He's just joined there for a very high price, so it'd be silly of Chris Waldon not to play him, because he's a quality striker, lots of goals at Swansea last season. I can see him maybe rotating minutes with Burke up top, so either of those options are really good enablers, and yeah, let's see how Brewster does. I think he will get goals, especially against the lower sides in the league.
Yeah, I agree. And then my premium option, I think if I was to get anyone in, if I could right now, it'd be this man, and it's Harry Kane, 10.5 million. He's very expensive for a striker, but the guy looks incredible. He's getting so many assists this season. It's a different part of his game that we knew was there, but he's bringing it out for everyone to see this year. Top assister in the league. He's also getting goals. He's on penalties. There's not much not to like about him.
Yeah, he's looking very good at the moment. I'm kind of feeling in my wild card to go for one or the other. So I've picked him in Son purely because he gets more points from goals. But not having Harry Kane is still a slight concern. But for my budget, he's not fitting into my team.
Yeah, usually with that Spurs team right now, it's either Son assist to Kane goal or Kane assist to Son goal. That's how it's working out. They look really, really good Spurs at the minute. So keep an eye on them. Hopefully they can pick up their defensive form too.
Right, so let's have an update on the FPL Graduates League. Of course, we'll leave the link to the league in the description below. You can join it, try and see if you can beat us. We're not doing too well at the moment, but we're going to hope to rise in the rankings and catch all of you lot up. Josh, who got Manager of the Week and who got the most points this game week in our league?
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and Sean Akuti, Maggie Sippers with 89 points this week, a very, very high score. He played his wild card and it went swimmingly. He had Harry Kane as captain, Jack Grealish, Salah, Havertz, and Calvert-Lewin. They're the ones who returned, but because he had Grealish and Kane, that got him so many points as it was.
Yeah, that's an incredible looking team, and well, the captain option always pays off for him. So let's go to the overall standings, and we have someone who has led for 2 straight weeks. Alex Thomas got a 54-point week, and that maintained him at the top. He's currently top by a good 7 or 8 points still, and he had a 54-point a week. Salah, Kane, he captained Jimenez, which could have been crucial to his game week. If he captained Kane or Salah, he's looking at a 60-70 point game week. So annoying for him there, but he's keeping consistent with those scores, which really good to see. Obviously trusting his gut, trusting his instincts with who he's going for. Had Trossard and Havertz return as well for him. So overall, he's had a great game week, and let's see how he can do in the coming game weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so that has been a bit of a different FPL Fridays to usual. We hope that you still have enjoyed it. Of course, the international break, we'll hope to see the Premier League back soon. And yeah, hope to see that we get some more FPL points on the board.
Yeah, it's definitely got a pick up for me, that's for sure, after the international break. It's been a bad few weeks, but we'll get back on it, get those transfers in, and hopefully DCL can pick me up.
As always, please like, comment, subscribe, turn those notifications on. I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you
later.